latest top tips, reviews and advice, please subscribe below.
Hello and welcome to Attwoolls Outdoors with me, Mike. Today, you guys, a bit of a review video on a product from Outwell. So with me today, I've got the Outwell Knightdale 8PA. So the Knightdale is probably a name we've seen in Outwell's collection for a couple of years now. And to be fair, in terms of the concept, it's very much the same. They've just tweaked it a little bit, just in certain areas, and kind of we'll go through that throughout this video. It's quite a versatile tent. It's designed that you've almost got kind of two sleeping different areas. So you've got a main kind of sleeping area right at the back for 6 people, and there's an additional 2-berth bedroom that comes included with it in the front awning section. So you've got two separate kind of sleeping areas. Admittedly, the concept of kind of the bedroom in the front awning area, you can kind of put up when you wanted to. Alternatively, you kind of have that more as sort of a main kind of area for sort of cooking and like your wet dry area, but we'll go through that throughout the video. Very quick and easy to pitch. You can see from our own Attwoolls pitching and packing video, took me the best part of I think about 11-12 minutes to pitch the whole thing. It means it's brilliant for going away for short periods as well as those longer trips as well. It sits in kind of Outwell's Prime collection, so it's a really nice fabric. Run about a 4,000mm hydrostatic head, around about 70 denier in terms of material. You've almost got this kind of Outwell branded embossed material that sort of stands out, and it kind of again helps to ooze kind of quality and class. We've also got these kind of big, nice tinted windows as well, so it means you get good privacy from the outside, but still retain some visibility out. Looking from the outside in, you tend to see definitely more kind of shapes rather than physical detail, but it's still a nice concept, and you've then got toggle up curtains completely on the inside when you want that ultimate amount of privacy quite nicely. Not only have you got it in the main living section, but then also in the front awning area, which is enclosed, you've got those curtains that toggle up as well. One of the unique features about kind of Knightdale is the fact you've got this little brow canopy leading directly into that sort of front awning area. Not many models have this kind of feature, and it's quite nice that if you wanted kind of your rain-safe door in and out of the tent, naturally it makes sense to have it in kind of that front section, which is always going to be a wet, dry area anyway. And it means that you can utilise that front door. So if you have that fully enclosed like we have it now, you can come and go in here as you please, and then you've still got a bit more area under cover. And the rain's just going to come down, swoop off, and not necessarily go directly into the part as well. So you can open it up quite simply, and it sort of toggles back. Again, you've got a window built into that, which you've got corner curtains for, and there's a zip running along the bottom as well, so it's quite a thorough feat. So we'll just roll that back initially, and we're just going to toggle it back just approximately for the time being, just to kind of keep it all at bay. As the dog's demonstrated quite happily. We've got high visibility guidelines, and I think it's quite nice that it matches kind of the trim along the actual kind of tent as well. Twinned up with kind of these big sort of air window panels, you've got these low-level ventilation points to help circulate air, and you've got that on both sides really, which is obviously quite important. Big mesh side door located just on this one side here, so that's really going to be your bug-free barrier. And what you find is when you're in the kind of living area, you've got sort of a mesh barrier from the side and the front, so you've got, you know, a complete enclosure, so you have good airflow, but not have sort of the bugs come in at night, especially when you've got the sort of lights on. And you've got a really nice big vent located at the back as well to increase that kind of airflow. Sits really well. If you want to make it sort of bigger, what you can actually do is put an additional kind of front awning onto it. So what you find with this, actually, it then means that you can enclose it, very versatile, and you can kind of mix and match in terms of how big you want it to be. Going away for a longer period of time, obviously you can use the front awning. Failing that, it goes back. It actually tabs onto here, and we've got a separate kind of video which you can check out on kind of how it pitches and how it looks with the additional kind of front awning on, and there's different kind of sizes. As we swing ourselves around to the front, we can see we've got really nice strong webbing straps on the front and also at the back. Helps to give great tension into the roof, makes it a bit more sort of belts and braces, and that's obviously married up with these high visibility guidelines as we previously said, and they've got a nice easy runner on them as well. The front panel, as we see here, the panel essentially opens up from right to left. You can kind of have it half open or fully open depending on what you want to do with it, and you've also got a separate puller located here, which means you can create almost like a little veranda when you take it back fully. I'm going to open the door up just kind of almost halfway. For me, if I see is kind of how you're going to use it. It's only on maybe a nice day when you want to fully truly bring kind of the outside in, but you'd go down the lines of opening up fully, but it's nice having that flexibility. Again, there's kind of a halfway point with the door, so you can roll it back, and again, you've got a nice big cord to kind of keep it nicely at bay. One of the unique things about this fat tent is that you've got an inner bedroom in this front section. So again, it's the ability to sleep people in here, and again, put it up when you need to, take it down when you don't. The whole front panel's got, as I said previously, curtains, and it's still got kind of tinted windows, so you can really make sure anything in the front here is nicely and neatly secured. But I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's kind of bring the camera around and have a little bit more of a look on the inside of Knightdale and talk for a load more features that it's got built into it. So now we're looking straight down the heart of kind of the tent. You can see how this is really going to be your corridor into the main part of the main body. Having that kind of bedroom section works really nicely, but I think, to be fair, not many people will use that. It's a nice thing to have, but like I said, you can kind of pick and choose whether you want to use it. So it's almost a little bit of a relevant feature, but to remove it and you feel you're going to use this space and maximize your internal space, certainly when it's raining, for example. So what I'll do, let me open up the front door itself. I'll show you the bedroom as we see it, and then from there, what we can also do is kind of take the bedroom down and show you what kind of internal space you would also benefit and gain from. So we'll just kind of roll that just across for the time being. And you've got these nice big oversized kind of pullers. So that's neatly in there. So you've got the bedroom in place. Now it's worth mentioning that actually you've got access to this bedroom either through the side or actually in from kind of the main living section. So it's a really good height. Happily put a 2-berth bedroom in there, and you've got mesh panels even on either side. If you wanted to, say, remove it, you can actually kind of just untoggle it from the top or even unpeg it from the bottom. Just kind of go along nice and neatly. It's quite a thorough attachment. But I would almost, to the point where you could do is, in kind of a night time, put it up, leave your bedding inside of it or roll it away. Let's open that door to get the air out. There you go. So now we kind of dropped it down. You can see it's pretty much taken up half your kind of main kind of front awning space, which is quite valuable room, you know. So that's why you kind of have that compromise of having it up or having it down. From here, like I said, we've got windows all the way throughout, so you get a great sort of panoramic view. The side door as well, so you want to keep that completely enclosed. The back panel, basically between kind of the main living area and the front awning area, is again really nice and versatile. What you can do is you can obviously open it from right to left, and then all the way fully open if you wanted to. The door, which I mentioned, there's a door in the inner tent located here, and that is obviously then kind of mirrored with a door that goes that way. So you can almost leave this divider in half, allow people to come in and out from that way if you wanted to. Fair, you could just eventually use this as a door from right to left if you don't have the bedroom. So a lot more versatile than other models in the same kind of collection. This middle door also features kind of Outwell's quick and quiet door. This is a feature that has magnets running down the sides and close essentially behind you. It allows you to go in and out of a door without having to use a zip and making more noise. So you can kind of walk in and essentially then, like I said, the magnets kind of close behind you. For me, I'd say this feature works a lot better on the kind of bedroom compartment. In the front section, it works to a certain extent, but I still think it needs a little bit more kind of pointing to it. If you don't like this feature or don't want to necessarily use it, then all you can do is there's a zip behind it to completely zip it up, and then you just use the door in a more conventional way. So again, we'll open it from right to left. Again, you can happily bring this door back halfway, roll it back, and then use that as your real corridor, which kind of marries up the side door we've got located there. Both the kind of front panels have this full kind of mesh bit built into it. So this is going to be your bug barrier from the front side of things, twinned up with the one we talked about earlier with the side door. So you can really help with keep airflow flowing in here without having to worry about anything coming in. But if you want the sort of privacy, then that's when you can nice and neatly do that like so. To open up fully, to really kind of open up the whole area, we can bring that whole divide back, Again, you've got a nice kind of sort of toggle point. Keeps that completely out of the way. And then from there, you can really kind of appreciate kind of the size of the tent itself. Now, the overall width of it is about 380 wide, so it's a good sort of span. Headroom height, I'm about 6'2", 6'3", stand up nearly in the middle quite happily. As we get to the corners, do you know what, actually it's not too bad. I'm not too far away from there, but when you're a bit lower with the furniture, it will get a bit closer to the sides. The curtains we've got pretty much throughout the whole of the tent have the ability of toggling up. You can toggle them up fully to get the ultimate amount of coverage, alternatively go halfway to allow a bit of light to come in, but also have a little bit of privacy at the same time. Things that you necessarily is worth mentioning in here is that, again, you've got kind of Outwell's quick and quiet door. Now, for me, in the bedroom section, it works a bit better, mainly because the fact that you've got a more of a solid edge rather than two bits coming together. So it works a little better than it would do on the other side. Admittedly, obviously, the wind's not helping, I must say. You've got a big mesh panel built directly into the front panel as well, so you can really help and get lots of airflow in. Like the front door, if you don't want to use that quick and quiet feature, again, you can quite happily zip it up and still use the conventional way. You're probably going to make the right-hand side here the master bedroom because it's got that quick and quiet feature door. The reason I say that is basically because even though the bedroom's the same sort of, should we say, size, I feel that, you know, adults tend to be probably the last one to bed, or hopefully should be. So that way, you know, you can come and go as you please and don't have to disturb the kids as they kind of sleep. Between the two sections of the bedroom section, so really this is considered a 3 and a 3, hence your sort of 6 berth at the back. What it's allowing you to do is actually have about a 180 per each section. So I would say this is really going to be more of a comfy 2, you know, with a bit of room to spare. The zip divider between the sections gives you a bit more of a feel of separate bedrooms. I mean, it's zipped down the side, but then it's sort of kind of leather on the bottom. With this, what you find is you can actually bring that fully up to make it one big bedroom you wanted to. There's a slightly darker material in the bedroom as well to hopefully reduce early morning light. And there's a big vent at the back here as well to help with airflow. And it sort of marries up with kind of big vent at the back of the tent. So if you want to use as sort of a vent slash sort of window, you could do that as well. Storage pockets located nice and neatly down the side here in both sides, so you can put things like phones and keys and that stuff easily accessible, so you have to scrub around in the middle of the night, you can quite happily identify them. And you've got a storage pocket built on the front of the inner, again on both sides. There's a cable entry point on this right hand side here as well, so you have your mains kind of cable into the actual inner tent to charge your phone up, and your mains hookup cable is located at the side here, or alternatively at the front, so it doesn't matter which way kind of the cable needs to come in, you can actually quite happily accommodate it. Other features that are kind of unique to Outwell in a certain sense is things like their hook track system. So the hook track system is basically like a little bit of beading, which essentially you can put clips onto. So think of like a clothesline and closed pegs. You can pop the hook on there, create a hanging point, or have multiple hooks going down to the cable entry point, so you can run sort of, you know, your mains hookup cable down there. So there's lots of kind of unique features that are unique to Outwell, and excuse me, obviously plenty of size that as well. Other things, additional storage pockets worth mentioning, are actually in kind of the helmet located here. And when you buy a ground sheet, footprint ground sheet, you get a ground sheet for the front section, and it kind of almost rises up a little bit as well, just to kind of give you a bit better coverage. But I'll tell you what, let's pick the camera up, kind of bring yourself inside, and get a bit more of a feel for the Knightdale inside and a bit more up close and personal. So as we kind of come in, you can see the bedroom section here as well. So it's a good sort of depth, but if you flip ourselves round this side, you know, I personally see removing the bedroom, having it more of a kind of a larder unit or a cooking unit there, so it gives yourself a bit of coverage. Open the door up fully as we have here, but it's nice having that little brow canopy. And there's also a big mesh vent at the top here to allow airflow even when that door is sealed up. The windows nice and clear, but then that low level ventilation point is located on the side as well. And again, you've got a blank panel at the back, but windows to the side, and that door on the right hand side. The bedroom's obviously a good sort of size, dark in terms of the colours we said about, and you can probably see the kind of the little pockets to the left. And actually, the mesh part directly out there as well, and that opens up, and then we've got the zip divider running by the side. It's kind of sculpted a little bit in terms of the the way it's filled at the back. Now this is basically to allow you to use kind of a slightly taller bedding scenario, so air beds or even camp beds, but you always double check on that as well. And you can see also that really nice big mesh panel built into the front section, which you can open and close. The hook track system works really nicely, and then toggle points for the windows to come up and down as they need to. From a point there, you've actually got the hook track system on this beam in the middle, the beam necessarily on the other side, and then also in the awning section as well. So you've got 3 locations really. So there's only the one above the bedroom section where you haven't got that feature built in. As we kind of come out and go round, you can see obviously it sits really nicely. I do like kind of the green colour. I think Outwell have done a really good job of making it look really smart in kind of their prime collection. And then we've got this really nice big rear vent at the back here, which can either be, in this scenario as we see it here, can be fully zipped up, which I wouldn't really recommend because you want to keep airflow, or you can actually toggle it back and keep it open to maximise your airflow as well. We've got those rear storm straps as we previously said about as well. And as we kind of come round, all the beams have their own individual inflation points located at the back, along with obviously the mesh door and that rain safe canopy door as we saw earlier. So all in all, it's a really nice model, something a little bit different. And I think it almost has got its own little kind of cemented place in kind of Outwell's collection. I feel everything in their kind of prime collection has a reason or a point of difference why you might necessarily go for it. So you can really kind of sort of carve out what is important to you and kind of go from there. For more information, of course, you're more welcome to check the link below this video. It'll take you straight through to the website. We've got things like pack sizes, floor dimensions, overall weights, individual features all listed out quite nice and neatly for you as well, so you can compare and contrast with other brands and even other ranges in kind of Outwell's collection. But all in all, I think for the price you pay and some of the features, certainly with the bedroom section, whether you use it or not, I think it's got some unique points. I like the extra side pod at the side entrance again, which is unique to the Knightdale. And I feel this being a very kind of comfy 4, but with the capabilities of actually sleeping 6. But by all means, let us know what you think of the tent. It's always great to have good feedback from you guys and see what you like or don't like, and we can always then try and pass on to manufacturers if need be. So yeah, that's our little video review on the Outwell Knightdale 8PA.